Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Irene Campbell, yoga teacher and creator of the Yoga for Stress Foundation course. Today I'm offering you a short practice to warm up and loosen up the body. So you could do this practice in preparation for a follow-up strong practice where you might focus on alignment or a strong vinyasa class or whatever you might do next. Or you could use it as a standalone practice. It would feel especially nice in the evenings when maybe the body has tightened up over the day and you just want to find a bit of ease and looseness in the evenings and before going to sleep. So when you're ready, join me on the mat. We're starting on in an all fours position. We are going to start with cat and cow. We have a couple of seated poses later, so you might like to sit on a blanket or a block for those, but you could sit on the floor, of course, as well. So for the all fours position, you place your knees underneath the hips, and the knees are a hip width apart, and the wrists are underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread out. So take a moment to really feel those hands and feel the tops of the feet on the floor. Have a little bit of softness in the elbows. And then start to flow through cat and cow. And link the movement with your breath. You could inhale when you go into cow. Exhale when you go into cat. Eyes could be open or closed. Feel into that movement of your spine. Drawing your attention away from whatever has been going on previously or might be awaiting you later on. Become fully present and aware of your body and the breath. Stay in your cat when you are there next time. Just move the hips round a little bit in a circle and change direction. And then you move into your cow, staying there for a moment. Let the lower back drop down, and again you might move the hips a little bit from side to side this time. Now take your hands forwards for a brief puppy pose. So you keep your hips above the knees and you draw your chest and the forehead down towards the floor. Stretching a bit more into the shoulders now. Again, feel free to do little movements here. It's all about ease and fluidity today. And then lift up, hands are a bit in front of the shoulders for downward facing dog. Once again, play around with the position. Walk out the legs. Swing the hips around. Move the head around. So whatever feels good. Couple couple more breaths in this playful down dog. And then we are going to take the knees down and sit back on the heels. So you could come in a toe squat from here, really tucking all the toes under. And if that is too painful, place the soles of the feet on the floor. Relax your shoulders. And then just let the head tilt to the right. Just a gentle side stretch for the neck here. Slowly move the head to look down towards the floor. And then slowly move the head to start looking up towards the ceiling. Back to center. And then lift the head, look forwards, ease the shoulders out, and take the head over to the left. Really relax the neck here at the beginning. And then start to look down. To look up. Back to your starting point and back to center. Ease out the shoulders. Take the hands in front of you, link the hands, turn the palms and stretch out your fingers. And then push the palms up towards the ceiling. Keep tucking the hips under here so you're not overbending into the lower back. Once again, do little wiggly movements to really help you find length in this position. Keep the neck at ease. Lovely. And then release and tap your feet out. Come into a seated position next. Right leg in front of the left. Now you could sit on your blanket if you like. In fact, I'll do that because the floor here is quite cold. So find that seated position, relax the legs, spine is upright. And we're going to draw the shoulders up to the ears and back. And down. Linking the hands once again, this time swapping the fingers, turning the palms, stretch the fingers. Push the palms up towards the ceiling, grow tall. Do these little movements that help you find length. Grow tall. Now take the left hand down, come into a side bend. So don't lean forwards, lean the head back a bit, reach into the fingertips. The hips are firmly grounded down. And then come back to center, sit tall, and then go over to the other side. Really want to sort of get those ribs apart, stretch into the side of the rib cage. And then come back to center. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, lower them down. 2 more times. On your next exhalation, cross the right hand over, take the left hand behind, come into a twist and stay there. Turn around as much as possible. Turn your head, keep that upright spine. and come back to center. Inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, twist around. And come back to center and lean forwards. Hands on the floor, maybe elbows on the floor, and you wiggle the hips. Wiggle into the lower back. Find a bit of ease and looseness there. And then lift up again. Get your blanket out of the way if you have been using it. Come into downward facing dog again. Maybe you'd like to make it a little bit stronger this time. So pushing the hands a bit more firmly down, lifting the sitting bones up and straightening the legs. But if you like, keep doing these little movements to keep the body feel at ease. To help the body feel at ease. Lovely. We are moving forward into a plank position now. Nice strong core. Moving about a little bit in our plank. And then take the knees down, lower down to the floor. Inhale into cobra. Push the feet down, lift the collarbones. Couple of extra breaths here. Now push back into a brief child's pose. Draw the knees in, keep them together as you then push back and push into the hands at the same time. So finding a bit of length here. And then we are going to lift up, taking the left foot forwards, right knee a little bit further back. You can use your blanket to cushion your right knee if you like. So the shin is vertical. You just lift out of the hips a little bit, tucking the hips under. And then we are going to move down into the low lunge and we are going to come up again. And just doing this movement mindfully a few times. So you want to keep the hips tucked under as not to over bend into the lower back. Really isolate that stretch for your right hip and also the right thigh. Now stay in your low lunge. Take the hands down and start to rock backwards and forwards onto the heel and forwards again. So we are working into the left leg now. Nice and gentle. Lovely, and then step your left foot back. Come into plank again. From plank, knees down, body down. Move into cobra. Stay there for a couple of extra breaths. Elbows are pointing back. Lift the collarbones. Feel the feet. And push into a brief child stretch. Knees together. Lift up, take your left foot forwards this time. Move the right knee back a bit and come up. So shin is vertical, lift out of the hips as before. And carefully lower down and lift up. So I like to have the back foot tucked under. It could be flat on the floor. It's not so important here. We finish in the lower position, fingertips on the floor, and we are going to rock backwards and forwards. And then, as before, we step back into plank, holding plank for a moment, taking the knees down, lower down to the floor, come into cobra, hold your cobra. Push back into child's pose. And that is the end of our little warm-up. Join me in a seated position. On your next inhalation, take the hands up. Place the palms together and guide your hands back to your heart. Thank you very much for joining in. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you next time. If you get notifications, then you'll find out when the next video comes, usually on a weekly basis. Take care.